The leading candidates to become the next president of the European Commission have clashed over Germany's support for the creation of an EU army. With just 3 weeks to go until the elections for the European Parliament, 4 candidates for the continent's top job went head-to-head in a debate in Florence. German Conservative Manfred Weber backed Chancellor Angela Merkel's plan for a permanent multinational armed force. But Socialist candidate Frans Timmermans said a European army was not coming anytime soon, arguing Europe would be better off focusing on economic cooperation. Although Europe's leading populist parties did not accept an invitation to participate in the debate, their shadow hung over proceedings, as Euronews' Alina Cavalloni reports.
Just a few weeks before the elections, they are considered crucial for the future of Europe. 4 of the leading candidates of the European political groups, which are running for the presidency of the European Commission, had the chance to push for their programs in a debate that took place here in Florence. Many issues were addressed, starting with migration, one of the most controversial topics that created divisions among the member states. And it is precisely about migration that the leader of the Social Democrats, Frans Timmermans, expressed his frustration over the inability of the EU to change the common asylum regulation, and also a frustration even bigger when he saw the Prime Minister of Hungary hosting the Italian Vice Prime Minister Matteo Salvini, leader of the far-right, the League Party, in a bid to strengthen an alliance based on closed border policy. This is what Frans Timmermans had to say about it.
We have made a start of solving the problem of poor border guards. We have increased the strength of border guards. What we haven't achieved, and this is going to be a do-or-die situation, what we have not achieved is to reform the European asylum system and to create an asylum system which is fair, which creates solidarity between all member states, and which distinguishes clearly between people who have the right to asylum and people who don't, and which reconnects us with our fundamental values as Europeans, to make sure that people who flee from war and persecution have a safe haven in Europe and no longer die in the Mediterranean. This is something we still need to do. For that, you need all member states. And what I find difficult to understand is that Mr. Salvini today goes to Mr. Orban and says, we are friends, your solution is the right solution, where Mr. Orban is the one who has prevented us from finding a solution in the last couple of years.
This was a provocation to Manfred Weber, the leader of the European People Party, the same party of Viktor Orban. But he sent back this provocation by also taking distances from the behavior of Viktor Orban, and also by firing back, mentioning some skeletons in the closet of the socialists.
And you can also ask Frans Timmermans about the wording of Fico in Slovakia, a socialist who was very, very anti-migrant in his argumentation. So we all have our problems in our team.
Many other issues were discussed: economy, sustainability, foreign policy, climate change. After the next European elections, we might see a very fragmented European Parliament and a rise of Eurosceptic parties. And the traditional alliance might not be sufficient to find a majority. And the choice of the next president of the European Commission might need compromises with new political forces.
Well, for the Liberals, Guy Verhofstadt argued the European Union needs far-reaching constitutional reform, while the Greens' Ska Keller said the focus should be on the needs of future generations.
It's maybe a little bit provocative. Today, the European Union doesn't exist really. It's still a confederation of nation-states that is mainly deciding by unanimity, and that is always acting too little too late when something is happening. For example, a financial crisis at the other side of the Atlantic Ocean. So that means that in the next 5 years, it's not about can we change a little bit this or a little bit that. There will be a time slot of 5 years to really change this nature, this character of the European Union, and to make it a real one.
So let's go to vote, taking into account the future of the children, of the grandchildren, of the younger people who can't go to vote. And they give us a very clear signal. They go to the streets in thousands and thousands in Rome, all over Italy, all over Europe, all over the world, because they're saying they also want to have a planet to live in.